Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Giving our praise to the Most High God and His Son Yahweh, coming back to you on a Friday night feast. And hey, I'd like to just say shalom to everybody that's finna tune in and everybody that's gonna tune in later on. I know twins, they've been asking and waiting for class to start. Hey, we're here now, so I better see y'all in the comment section somewhere, man. But hey, I hope everybody had a good day today, man. I know it was a little trying for me, but for the most part, whom the Lord love, He chasten. That's one of my favorite precepts to bring out, man. But we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this thing. Today's title is "Stop Complaining and Just Do It." Stop complaining and just do it, because this is how we know that we are the people of this Bible, man. Because just like how our people are complaining and murmuring today, they were doing the same thing in the wilderness, man. And hey, Christ had to do away with some of it, man. But we're gonna touch like a couple of examples and like storylines on that, man. But first precept we're gonna bring out is Colossians 3:23. I stole my Colossians. I got lucky. Right. All right.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 23.
Bring it out.
And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily.
Read that again.
And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily.
It said, whatsoever thing you do, do it heartily, man. Meaning, hey, you're gonna do it all together, and you're gonna do it like with all your mind and all your soul, or you ain't gonna do it at all, man. Because we already know how the Most High God feel about a lukewarm person. Hey, on certain days you want to serve him, and then other days when he don't let you have your way, you want to trip on him, man. So do it wholeheartedly and stop murmuring and complaining, like how the title goes into. But go ahead.
As to the Lord.
As to the who?
As to the Lord.
Because you ain't doing this for men. You're doing this for the Most High God and His Son Yahweh, man. Hey, even with Christ, He's the perfect example for that. Because whenever Christ had to get up on that cross, He didn't do no murmuring, complaining. So why are we doing it? Hey, we supposed to be Christ-like. People say that we supposed to be Christ-like, and they Christ-like. So let's start doing these things, man. But go ahead.
And not unto men.
And not unto who?
And not unto men.
But read on.
Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance.
Read that one more time up.
Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance.
So take this thing with a cheerful eye and a cheerful countenance, man. And stop the complaining, because hey, we know what the reward is in the end. It's that kingdom. Hey, and that's gonna be an everlasting kingdom. This kingdom right here, hey, it's not gonna be destroyed, man. Right. Hey, it ain't gonna be no moth and rust corrupting these things, man. We ain't got to worry about the next brother stealing our money or trying to sleep with our woman, and so on and so forth, man. We ain't got to worry about Esau, putting his foot in our ass, and the list goes on of the things that we ain't even gonna have to worry about no more once we get that kingdom. So hey, know what is at hand, man. It's high time. But go ahead.
For you serve the Lord Yahweh Shah.
For you? For
you serve the Lord Yahweh Shah.
Hey, because this is exactly who we serve. We serve, the Most High God and His Son Yahweh Shah, man. Because we know Yahweh Shah is the King of Kings, man, Lord of Lords. So hey, you'd rather serve the one that created everything versus the one that want to be like the Most High or be like Christ. But go ahead.
Verse 25. But he that do it wrong.
But what?
But he that do it wrong.
But he that's murmuring, complaining, and doing all type of sinful deeds. Go ahead.
Shall receive for the wrong.
Shall what?
Shall receive for the wrong.
So hey, that's plain and simple. If you do bad, you're gonna receive wrong or receive bad. If you do good, you're gonna receive good. But go ahead.
Which he had done.
Uh-huh.
And there is no respect of person.
And there's what?
And there is no respect of person.
So hey, the Most High God and Son Yahweh Shah, they are not finna have no respect of persons. Like, whatever him like it, him can get. That's plain and simple. But let's go ahead and go to the next precept. Let's get 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18. All right.
The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 18. In everything, give thanks.
Read that again.
In everything, give thanks.
In everything, give thanks, man. It don't matter if you stubbed your toe, if you shot yourself, hey, if somebody looked at you wrong, hey, if you fell off the bed like Zion always be doing, and so on and so forth, man. Hey, give the Most High God thanks. Hey, in the good and in the bad, because we're gonna touch on the precept that you know, it's in Apocrypha. We're gonna touch on it later on. But go ahead.
This is the will of God.
This is what?
This is the will of God.
Hey, thanking the Most High God and His Son Yahushua, that's His will, as well as His commandments, of course. But go ahead.
In Christ Yahushua.
And what?
In Christ Yahushua.
We don't.
Concerning you.
Concerning who?
Concerning you.
Concerning you. But go ahead.
Quench not the spirit.
Do what?
Quench not the spirit.
Because just like how our arts class was going into like last week about that candlestick. Hey, don't quench your fire, man. Because hey, as soon as you do, hey, you done. But go ahead.
Despise not prophesying.
What?
Despise not prophesying.
Because you know the prophesies is going into this Bible, man. Or like even when we go out into the streets and prophesy this Bible, man. But go ahead.
Prove all things.
Do what?
Prove all things.
Exactly what we're doing right now. How we ain't supposed to be murmuring and complaining. We're proving that we're not supposed to do those things. But go ahead.
Hold fast that which is good.
That which is what?
That which is good.
Hey, and like brothers and sisters that's in the group chat, just Mary Houston, I know she always on it. Hey, what's good according to the Bible? If she beat y'all, hey, all the brothers suspended, man. That's tuning in. But next precept we're gonna get is Philippians chapter 2, verse 14. This class, it might not be long, it might will, hey, whatever the Most High God will is.
2:14.
Yeah, 2:14. Go ahead.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, and verse 14. Do all things without murmuring and disputing.
Read that again.
Do all things without murmurings and disputing.
It said, do all things without murmuring and without disputings, man. Stop making it harder than what it already is, man. We already in captivity. How much? Hey, the Most High God, He gonna put a certain limitation on you, or like He gonna put a certain amount of like affliction on you that you're gonna be able to bear. So why you keep on complaining, man? We gotta serve our sins, because like Benaniyah always bring out, Capt Benaniyah always bring out, nigga, you did it, nigga, we did it. So now, hey, we serving that purpose, man. But go ahead.
Verse 15. That ye may be blameless.
That you may be what?
That ye may be blameless.
Because you want to be blameless in this thing, man. You don't want to always be that brother that's always murmuring, complaining, or that's known to murmur and complain, because ain't nobody really gonna want to deal with you. Same with the sisters, because they see that it's a woe is me type of spirit on you. You're like, man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Okay, just do it. But go ahead.
And harmless.
And what?
And harmless. The sons of God.
The sons of who?
The sons of God.
Talking to the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's who we talking to. That's the audience. Hey, I want sons of God too, brothers and sisters that's in there. But go ahead.
Without rebuke.
Without what?
Without rebuke. In the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
And a what?
In the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. Among whom ye shine as lights in the world.
In the what? In
the world.
Because hey, we are that light, man. I'm talking about like anything that we do. Hey, we always gonna let that light, so shine before the the men or whatnot, or before the world, should I say? Because it's like, hey, once they see you carrying yourself in a type of mannerism where you ain't murmuring, complaining, you taking that thing with a cheerful countenance, hey, they gonna want to do the same exact thing, man. Well, I can't say the same for Esau, because hey, as soon as they lose some money, they already finna kill themselves, man. And then they kill their family, burn the house down, and then do themselves. But go ahead.
Verse 16. Holding forth the word of life.
The word of what?
The word of life.
Because this word is always gonna bring life. So the opposite of life is death. Hey, going into sin. Sin is that death, and His word is life, man. This is what's gonna bring you back, into the fold, man. Hey, you gotta repent. You gotta come back to this word, man. That's why I say, blessed is the man to read it, because we always gotta, meditate on this word, man. So why would we complain if we got the best thing that's in this world, man? But go ahead.
That I may rejoice in the day of Christ.
In the day of what?
In the day of Christ.
Because hey, we are looking forward to that. That day whenever Christ comes back. We want to make sure ourselves is in order. But hey, Most High God, hey, He only got like a certain time limit, man. So hey, you either gonna get right now, or you ain't gonna get right at all. Because hey, if you still doing wickedly in the world and Christ come back, That's it for you. Especially with you being in the truth, because we know judgment must over the house of Israel. Hey, that's just a done deal. Right. So hey, get it right while you can. But go ahead.
That I have not run in vain.
I mean, what?
That I have not run in vain.
Because you don't run this race in vain, man. There's a Christianity song. That's where they got it from. No, don't want to run the race in vain. But go ahead.
Neither labor in vain.
Neither what?
Neither labor in vain.
Because hey, that's the worst feeling. Like before we even see Judgment Day, or like even thinking about it right now, that's one of the worst feelings that you could feel, man. Somebody, you had the truth, you had it in your hands. It's like how brothers and sisters watch football, and then you see the dude, the quarterback finna throw the ball, and the receiver, he have it in his hand and he drop it. Hey, that's a painful thing. Say if it's a Super Bowl or if it's a game that actually matters. Hey, if you drop that ball, hey, it's over for you, man. You ran it in vain. But they got next year. Hey, this is a one in a lifetime type of opportunity, man. So hey, get it right while you can. But next precept we're gonna get is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 1.
The book of 1 Corinthians. Excuse me. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 1. Moreover, brethren.
Who?
Moreover, brother.
We know who the brethren is. Ezekiel 11 and 15. But go ahead.
I would not that ye should be ignorant. How that all our fathers were under the cloud. And all passed through the sea.
Because hey, even, like on the spiritual aspect, it's basically giving you a brief rundown. We're gonna go to like the actual storyline, but like, who was that was under the cloud and passed through the sea? It's talking about us, because it gives you the context. It said, moreover, brethren, Israel. It says, hey, you should be ignorant of this thing, how that our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea, going into the Red Sea when we was fleeing from the Egyptians. But go ahead.
Verse 2. And were all baptized unto Moses.
Unto who?
Unto Moses.
Because hey, there's that word baptized. So back then, hey, they try to mix it in, talking about baptism when they come into the New Testament, because that's a doctrine that's out there as well. But hey, baptism been since way back then, man. So what they tell you, hey, and what was Moses given to the brothers and sisters? He was given the 10 commandments, or like I should say the 613 law, statutes, and commandments. But go ahead.
And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. And did all eat the same spiritual meat.
The same what?
The same spiritual meat.
Because hey, we did eat that same spiritual meat, because on a deeper aspect, we know what the meat is. We, going into like the deeper understanding of the Bible, but also going into like the things that they was actually eating, because it was a physical thing, but it was also a spiritual thing that was going on, like even with the manna and so on and so forth. But go ahead.
And did all drink the same spiritual drink.
The same what?
The same spiritual drink.
Because hey, even with that same spiritual drink, we know what that drink was. But go ahead.
For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them.
Y'all know what that spiritual rock was, because it's finna tell you who that rock was. But go ahead.
And that rock was Christ.
That what?
And that rock was Christ.
Hey, let you know that hey, Christ was way back then, man. He was the one that was leading. Yeah, you have Moses as like the forefront, but behind closed doors, behind the scenes, hey, Christ was actually leading them as well, man. And he was given. Who you think Moses got the commandments from, man? He got it from Christ. But go ahead.
Verse 5. But with many of them, God was not pleased.
He was not what?
No, God was not well pleased.
He was not what?
He was not well pleased.
Because hey, we finna see why he wasn't well pleased. But go ahead.
For they were overthrown in the wilderness.
They were what?
For they were overthrown in the wilderness.
Hey, they was destroyed. They was put to death in the wilderness. It's finna give you the rundown on the things that they were doing. But go ahead.
Now these things were our examples.
Were our what?
Were our examples.
Everything in this Bible is always an example. It's always a life lesson, a learning lesson. Hey, because if you got the example, if you got an open book test and it's showing you all the examples and things of what to do and what not to do, why would you still do the same exact thing, man? Like trying to lean on your own understanding. That's delusional, man. But go ahead.
To the intent we should not lust after evil things.
We should not what?
We should not lust after evil things.
Hey, we supposed to be lusting after these evil things. You know, the evil things, just to sum it up, is sin. But go ahead.
As they also lusted.
As they what?
As they also lusted.
Because hey, Israel, hey, man, throughout the whole Bible, we see more of the what it's saying. Hey, Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord versus then Israel did good in the sight of the Lord, man. Hey, let you know that we the same people, because 2/3 of our people, hey, they doing evil in the sight of the Lord. Then that 1/3, hey, they doing good in the sight of the Lord. But go ahead.
Neither be ye idolaters.
Be what?
Neither be ye idolaters.
So hey, don't be idol worshiping, man. And we know one of the first things they did as soon as they got in the wilderness, hey, they over here building, having Aaron break off having Aaron build them a calf or whatnot. They breaking off earrings and all this stuff, man. But hey, Moses, hey, he had him drink that stuff. We're gonna touch on that though. But go ahead.
As were some of them. As it is written.
No, read that again. No, as all of them.
As were some of them.
Hey, let you know that the Most High God, he always had a remnant, man. We got to touch all aspects, because they talk about all Israel sinned before the Most High God in Christ. But no, it said some of them. But go ahead. Hey, that's tough, man. But go ahead.
As were some of them. As it is written.
As is what?
As it is written. The people sat down to eat and drink. It rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication.
Hey, going to spiritual fornication or physical fornication, man. Hey, we ain't supposed to be doing neither one of them, because both of them is sin. But go ahead.
As some of them committed.
As what?
As some of them committed.
Hey, he reiterated himself. He said some of them, not all of them. But go ahead.
And fell in one day 23,000.
3 and what?
23,000.
That's how many people was put to death in the wilderness, man, because they was doing all these these sinful deeds. But go ahead.
Neither let us tempt Christ.
Neither let us what?
Neither let us tempt Christ.
Hey, because you got to be at your rabbit ass mind to just try to tempt the king, man. Like he won't knock you off your high horse, man. Because just imagine, like whenever that time comes, Lord's will, whenever Christ comes back, and he in there teaching in the wilderness, and we over there, trying to listen, trying to get a good understanding. People over there trying to tempt Christ. Christ ain't finna talk. He ain't finna do nothing, man. Hey, he finna just cut your neck off, man. Hey, he finna behead you, man. Hey, you gonna do you like he did the brother, man, that came without the wedding garment. He said, bind him hand and foot and cast him to outer darkness. The only difference is he gonna do it himself. But go ahead.
As some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents.
And was what?
And were destroyed of serpents.
Because that goes into Numbers 21 and 5. Like, because who was bitten by serpents? That was Israel, man. Hey, but go ahead.
Verse 10. Neither murmur.
Neither what?
Neither murmur ye.
Read that one more time.
Neither murmur ye.
Hey, neither murmur ye. But go ahead.
As some of them also murmur.
Because hey, in that short amount of time, like it was a long period of time, but I'm talking about like as far as like from them murmuring, then getting back right with the Most High God to murmuring again. Hey, that was a short period, man. They was doing it back to back. And he's like, God damn, like, are y'all gonna get it right or y'all not? But go ahead.
And were destroyed of the destroyer.
And was what?
And were destroyed of the destroyer.
Hey, they did all that murmuring and was destroyed by the destroyer, man, going into Christ. But go ahead.
Now all these things happen unto them for examples.
For what?
For examples.
Basically, example, saying the same, it's just spelled different, but it's the same meaning. But go ahead.
And they are written for our admonition.
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 Y'all, one of y'all brothers and sisters, y'all want to look up that word, admonition?
I got you. It says a gentle or friendly criticism or warning.
Or what?
Or warning.
Hey, that's a key thing. It's a warning. Hey,
look, it says a piece of advice that is also a warning to someone about their behavior.
About their what?
About their behavior.
Hey, because hey, they were just acting an ass in the wilderness, man. But go ahead.
It says the most common parental admonition must surely be, don't stay out late.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. Hold on. I skipped past. It says I just lost it. Go ahead. I just lost it. There you go. Chide, rebuke, reproach, and reprove.
Hey, where you think they getting these words from? This all them words is in the Bible, man. But go ahead. That's it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Hey, so all these words, hey, it's to give you warning, it's to rebuke you, it's to give you reproach, and reprove you, and so on and so forth, man. So, hey, Most High God, had his son doing these things for us, but hey, nevertheless, they still was doing the wicked deeds and stuff, man. But go ahead.
And they were written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come.
Or what?
Are come.
Read 12.
Verse 12. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed, lest he fall.
Lest he what?
Lest he fall.
Hey, because it basically explains itself in verse 12. It says, wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed, lest he fall. Because, hey, if you don't listen, you're going to fall. If you're going to murmur and complain, you're going to fall. Let's go ahead and get 13.
Verse 13. There had no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. So,
hey, any type of temptation, because, this class, it could be like a pick-me-up class, but it's also like a open review type of class as well. Because we got to, hey, we tear you down, but we got to, build you back up. Thus saith the Lord. But go ahead.
But God is faithful.
But God is what?
But God is faithful.
Because like I was explaining, even with like all the temptations that we have, hey, ain't nothing new under the sun, man. Whatever you're going through, best believe a couple of other brothers and sisters going through the same thing. Either right now or back then, man, or in the future. But go ahead.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
That ye are what?
That ye are able.
Because like I say, God is faithful, man. He ain't finna put nothing upon you that's too hard for you, man, which is finna explain. But go ahead.
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape.
To what?
To escape.
So because you can escape that judgment, man. Like when it comes down to like your evil deeds, you can escape that, man. But hey, if you're gonna keep on doing it, hey, that's gonna be it. Because even the righteous, they're gonna get judgment, but it's gonna be more so of a righteous judgment, if that makes sense. But go ahead.
That ye may be able to bear it.
That ye may be able to what?
That ye may be able to bear it.
Because just think about it. All the stuff that we're going through, like how I always bring out, we're like roaches, man. Hey, roaches be going through all type of stuff, man. But at the end of the day, they still be the last one standing. Hey, we be able to endure all type of chastisement, man. We get shot down in the streets. We got our people drugged up on drugs. We got drunks, alcoholics. Hey, we got prostituting sisters, whoremongering brothers. Hey, same, hey, all that, man. But yet we still can see the good in them, man. But all they got to do is just come back to the Most High God. Hey, we got homosexuality, man, because that's something terrible on our people, man. Right. Because they say that Black Lives Matter, but like how Capt Benaniyah always bring it out. Hey, how does Black Lives Matter if that's the genocide of our people, man?
Right.
Because hey, like how I know I seen this video. It was this woman, she was basically trying to justify this thing. She was like, if you have 10 men and you have one woman on the island, they'll be able to multiply. But then when you think about it, it's like, no, if you have one man and 10 women, they'll be able to multiply, because after a while, hey, that lady, she can only get pregnant once every 9 months or whatnot, man. And then, hey, after a while, they're gonna be extinct, man. Meanwhile, you have a flourishing nation, man, if it was the opposite, man.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, but let's go ahead and go to the next precept.
Yes, sir. Real quick.
I'll go ahead.
The key word throughout all we just read is the word examples. So let's pull that Romans chapter 15 and verse 4 with that. Because when you study through these scriptures, these things are always an example.
Right.
This is how you're supposed to, if you got a question, you always go to the scriptures and study the scriptures. Because these things, I ain't gonna jump the gun.
Right.
But read that real quick.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Read that one more time.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So whatever you going through, even he just told you that it's no temptation that's taking you, but such is coming to man. But where do we search these things out? We search these things out by going to the things that was written aforetime.
Right.
Because these things were the things that was written for our learning.
Right.
Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
It says through patience, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the book of Romans chapter 5 and verse 3, or it's 3 or 5, I think it's 5 and 3, it says tribulation worketh patience. You know, patience experience and experience hope. And through that experience, what we gain hope. That's what that scripture is going into. But it also says comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right.
So these are the scriptures are the only thing we need to be searching to go ahead and combat these wicked spirits that we dealing with out in this world right now. But that's all I want to bring out on that.
All praises on that, man. Well, let's go ahead and get the next precept. We're gonna get Exodus chapter.
Ooh.
You want something?
I did.
Go ahead.
No, matter of fact, yeah. Let me go ahead and go back. Go back to that first pretense real quick. Because I'm gonna tell you the perfect example for this whole class of stop complaining and just do it was Moses.
Right.
Think about it. Moses had a lot of excuses. Oh, I can't speak the Hebrew well. What are they gonna do? How are you gonna make them believe me? The Lord said, man, I made man's tongue. I do this, go. Mm-hmm. He said, matter of fact, okay, go take Aaron with you, then you go, right? But guess what? Matter of fact, 1 Corinthians 10 and 12, it says, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. So look at Galatians 6 and 1. Because you got to think about it. Moses, you know, he was the leader. He led us all out of Egypt. He led us through these things, but he didn't take heed of some of the things like I was even saying, patience. Right. He didn't have patience with the children of Israel as much as the Lord had. You know, he was getting irritated, fed up with them. He was like, man, God damn, y'all making me hot. Right. Guess what? They made the Lord hot and they made Moses hot, right? But watch this. Go ahead.
Galatians 6 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Brother, if a man be overtaken in fault.
In a fault, right? Go ahead.
Ye which are spiritual,
mm-hmm.
restore such an one in the spirit of meekness.
Right.
Considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Because think about this, a perfect example of Moses. Moses seen a lot of people that was overtaken in the fault. And it was up to him, guess what, to be the judge, to be the ruler, to be the guide and the provider, right? But guess what? Ultimately, Moses got it from the Most High God, got it from Christ, right? It said, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. We know Moses was the meekest man on earth, right? It said, considering thyself. Think about it. Moses has considered himself in all these things. It says, least thou also be tempted. Guess what? Moses got tempted too, man. Moses got tempted, man. He got tempted just like him. And look what happened to her. He said, must I crack this rock and give y'all water? Right. Guess what? Now he fell into that same thing too. Right. That's why when you come into this truth, man, you always got to, guess what, weigh the matters, man. Look at all the things that's going on, man. Because if not, you're going to get taken in that snare right with them, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, the Most High God, he told Moses to, you know, speak to the rock. Mm-hmm. He went and struck him, man. Because, hey, like I was saying, it started off with Moses, like as far as like with the murmuring, complaining, because he was doing all that, but then he got himself in order, and then basically it's almost like Moses seen the splitting image of himself. You know, when you just think about it, like, you know, he got himself together, and then he started seeing the other half of like how he used to be, and then it just came to the point where, hey, he lost patience, and then damn, now you can't even be in the promised land, man.
Damn, that's a great point. Like I just thought about it. Moses started off murmuring and complaining, and that's literally what that precept was saying. It said, lest thou also be tempted. Guess what? We know the Lord was always in the spirit. He restored Moses.
Right.
Guess what? Now I tested you.
Right.
Guess what? Well, you tested me. Now I'm going to test you. I'm going to put you in the same predicament. What did Moses do? He passed it a couple times.
Right.
But guess what? That last time, you got to always, that's why you always stay in the spirit with these things, man.
Don't run this race in vain, man.
That's right.
Hey.
I'm telling you, all the class tie up, man. Because Moses, man, he did a whole lot.
Hey, indeed. We're going to touch on a little bit of what Moses did, man. I mean, hey, That'll be like a 2-3 hour, 4 hour class if we touched on everything.
Yeah, for real.
So I'm gonna get a chapter out there, mud.
So you want to go to Exodus?
Yeah, chapter 16.
All right, come on. Start at verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And they took their journey from Elim.
Uh-huh.
And all the congregation of the children of Israel
Uh-huh.
came unto the wilderness of Sin,
Of who?
of Sin,
Uh-huh.
which is between Elim and Sinai,
Uh-huh.
of the 15th day of the second month, after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
So like I said, hey, this is after they already walked through the Red Sea. So now they, in the wilderness. And we're gonna see what these people was doing, or our people was doing. But go ahead.
And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured.
They did what?
Murmured.
They did what?
Murmured.
First thing they did, as soon as they got out there, is murmur. That was they first sin. They murmured, man. But go ahead.
Against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness.
So because like to a certain extent, I do understand why Moses, he didn't really want to deal with the people because he already knew how they was gonna be. But hey, after a while, hey, you gotta just set that thing up and just come on with it, man. Because like how in Ezekiel had say, it's like, hey, I made your head strong against their foreheads, man. Right. So hey, no matter what they throw at you, hey, you got these precepts. I gave you the commandments. So therefore, hey, teach them the same thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Real. Verse 3. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt.
Because they basically writing the check that they ass can't cash, man. It's like, hey, we was better off in Egypt. Hey, we could have died over there than this to come out here because we gonna die here. We ain't got no food, we ain't got no water, we ain't got no shelter. I'm like, you gotta not see what the Most High God, hey, he gave you your life, man. Hey, because that's one thing we always bring out whenever we go out on the streets. Hey, they be like, hey, I ain't got time. Hey, the Most High God, he had enough time for you. He woke you up this morning. That's more than enough for all of us, brothers. And sisters, that's in the truth, man. Hey, we always get another day to repent and to come back to him and to get us kill off that old man on the daily, man. Hey, that's the best thing you can get from the Most High God. But yet, hey, they didn't look at it like that. They started murmuring, just like how some of our brothers and sisters do to this day. But go ahead.
When we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full.
Because they was thinking on the corner aspect. They were like, hey, man, we had the flesh pots. Hey, we had the bread to the full. Read on.
For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
With what?
With hunger.
Because they not even looking at it. Hey, do y'all not know when y'all was in Egypt, man, I was the one that was giving you that food and water. So what you think? You think I'm finna just kill y'all from here and not give you the same exact thing, the resources that you need? Because hey, besides the the water and the food, I'm finna also give you these commandments, man. Hey, but go ahead.
Then said the Lord unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you.
So hey, the Most High God and Moses, they spoke, and he was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for Israel. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and make it rain some bread, some manna. But go ahead.
And the people shall go out and gather themselves. And the people shall go out and gather a certain rate.
A certain what?
A certain rate.
Because the Most High God, he gave certain stipulations, even with that. He like, hey, they gonna gather a certain rate. They ain't finna be eating all they can eat, man. But they gonna have enough that's sufficient for them. But like as far as just being a gluttonous, hey, that's sin according to the Bible. He didn't want them to be that, but he said, hey, get a certain rate that's sufficient for them. But go ahead.
Every day that I may prove them.
That I may what?
That I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no.
Or what?
Or no.
So hey, that's throughout the whole Bible, that's how the Most High God feel. He like, gonna keep my commandments or no? That's all I want to know. Because hey, can't be in the middle like I was bringing out in the beginning of the class. You can't be in the middle. You gotta keep my commandments or no? Choose life, choose death. But you had some?
Nah, it's just crazy. That's like the Lord was even giving them grace in that little small aspect too. Guess what? Like even like verse 3, man, they just complaining. Think about us now. Guess what? You got people in the truth complaining every day about being in the truth.
Right.
Damn, man. I remember when I used to go to the club. I remember I used to smoke big weed. I used to drink all the time. I didn't have to read my Bible every day. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do that. Now look, well, shoot, I guess I'm out of Egypt now. I guess that's the only good thing. Like, bro, stop complaining.
Right.
Guess what? You knew what it was when you came into it. Because I'm guessing whoever brought you in the truth read Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
Right, for sure.
Guess what? Now that you know, this is what you got to do. It's a checklist.
Hey.
But I'm like, verse 4, even what you had said, man, the Lord gave them a stipulation of how they should gather, right? He said, I want them to gather this rate every day. Mm-hmm. Guess what? He said, I'm going to watch it. Guess what? I'm not going to watch over them. And if they grab more right then and there, I'm going to whoop their ass. Right. He said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let them see if he said, I'm going to prove them. Guess what? He gave them that grace right there to prove them. Right. To see, guess what? Whether they will walk in my law or no. But that's it, man.
Hey, man.
You could tell that the Most High was kind of upset with it. You know, he said, behold, I will rain down bread from heaven for you. The people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. You can literally see that the Most High is kind of upset. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to see if they just gonna walk in my commandments or not. Right. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You could be frustrating the Most High or making the Most High upset by just complaining and murmuring about the small things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, because that's how it goes. Because hey, the Most High guy, he pretty much started over already, you know, in the time of Noah. But then he's like, okay, we're gonna try this again. You know, I'm gonna have y'all, you know, be fruitful and multiply, and we're gonna, you know, try to run it back, man. Hey, that's how you know we got a guy that really sticks to his word. Hey, when he say something, best believe he gonna do that thing, man. Because hey, he could have killed us all. He didn't have to see Noah nothing. We all be dead. We wouldn't even be Israel. We'll probably be somewhere, man, dead. But even going back to it, like with the murmuring and complaining, we was complaining that, you know, we was in the wilderness and stuff. So he like, you know what? If you look on the spiritual aspect, later on down the line, where he put us back into Egypt, man. Hey, which we are serving right now, man.
For real.
Hey,
so to prove us.
Hey, to prove us. You're like, okay, y'all tripping about the wilderness. So hey, I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all back in Egypt. And now we complaining about Egypt. So hey, he gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna put y'all back in the wilderness when Christ come back. So hey, we're gonna see if y'all gonna do the murmuring complaining, because hey, right then and there, that's it, man. Hey, you murmur and complain, you dead.
That's a good identifier too of who the 1/3 and 2/3 is. People who like Egypt and the people who didn't like Egypt. Because these people right here, they loved Egypt. They love staying there. They love doing this. That's why all the older generation died ultimately. Because guess what? They loved Egypt so much, and God did all these works for them. I don't give a damn, nigga. I want to go back to Egypt. Guess what? Think about now. The Lord put us back into Egypt, right? Spiritually. Now look, we got people who love Egypt. Don't want to give up the world, don't want to do nothing for it, but you got them couple.
1/3.
Man, I want to go home. I'm tired of going to work. I'm tired of working at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired of working with, what'd you say, 16-hour shifts.
15, 14.
I'm tired of doing all that. You got them people that now they coming back to the law, right? Man, I'm telling you, you got to keep these things all from then even to now, right?
And let's bring up a topic, even in today's topic. If you pray to the Most High God for a new car, a new this, a new apartment, new that, the Most High God just literally trying to see if you just gonna keep His law. It fits so perfectly how you sit here and you know the children of Israel complaining. Then the Lord give them some bread, and He say, "I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit here and prove Him to see if He gonna keep my laws or not." And that's the thing about it. The more and more we ask for stuff, that's exactly what Sirach chapter 4 and verse 17 say. Wisdom gonna prove you. We already know wisdom is keeping the commandments. It say wisdom gonna prove you until she makes she gonna bring fear and dread upon you until she may trust you by her laws.
Right,
man. So when you look at that thing and you look at the aspect of everything that you ask for, once you keep the laws and do everything that you're supposed to do, then He'll open up the secrets unto you. That's the point of it all. But it also say that it's a you got a shame that bringeth forth sin, and you got a shame that bringeth forth glory, grace. You know what I'm saying? And it's your choice to pick either side, because hey man, it's all up to you. Can't nobody save you out of this captivity but yourself. That's all I gotta say on that.
I pray, man, because all that stuff, it just correlate. And wisdom is trying you by laws. The Most High God is trying you by His laws. Like, come on, man, let's get it together. Hey, stop complaining and just do it, man. But next, now we're gonna keep on reading. Verse 5.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16, and verse 5. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
As they what?
As they gather daily.
So I'm like, hey, they multiplied that thing, man. So I'm like, you have more than enough to eat, man. You ain't got to be all greedy and stuff. Hey, that's why the Most High God say, hey, I'm gonna try them and see what they gonna do with this thing. But go ahead.
Verse 6. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel at even, then ye shall know that the Lord had brought you out of the land of Egypt.
So this is the Most High God's plan. He was like, okay, if I do this, then they may see that, hey, I brought you out the land of Egypt, or like you gonna have respect unto me, you're gonna start keeping my laws. Because the Most High God, Exodus and Numbers, He kept on doing little different things to prove Israel to see if they gonna, keep His laws or not. But go ahead.
Verse 7. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord, for that He heareth you. Heareth your murmurs.
Your what?
Your murmurs.
Your what?
Your murmurs.
So hey, best believe the Most High God, hey, if His eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun, hey, just imagine how His ears is, man. Hey, he hear you, man. He like, hey, because like even to a certain extent, hey, the Most High God, He wants you to cry to Him, but it's like it's a thin line between it. Once you see like you just complaining to just to have that woe is me type of spirit versus like you crying for things that matter, like Lord, hey, I'm ready, to serve you and get up at this captivity, so we can be in the kingdom. We can be kicking it, and like versus like, hey, Lord, I need this new house right here. Hey, I need this. Well, I need it to be big. I need it to be this certain amount of feet. Hey, I need this new car and all that. It's like it's a spiritual type of crying unto the Lord versus like a carnal type of crying unto the Lord, man. So you got to know the difference.
The Lord know your heart too. At the end of the day, too.
He tried to reigns.
So think about it. The Lord literally said, Sarah or Sarah, you're gonna have a child. I know you late in age. I know you're barren. You're still gonna have a child. And what she do? And he must be joking. Ain't no way I'm gonna have kids. I'm 9 years old. I'm barren. The Lord said, "Why you laugh?" I ain't laugh. What you talking about?
Right.
This what you can't get away from the Lord, man.
Hey,
regardless of whatever you're doing, you can't get away from him.
That's a perfect example. Nah, you did it. I'm talking about she didn't even say this thing.
She said in her head.
She said it in her head. Like, he got some ears, man.
I'm telling you, boy.
Hey, because y'all saying this thing out loud. So hey, if he heard it from her head, we ain't got no chance of hiding anything from the Most High God.
Do you know how terrified you got to be when you say some shit in your head and they say that shit out loud?
Like,
man, say you can't play with the Most High, man.
Bro, dude, you try to lie to the Most High God. Just add a sin to sin.
Oh yeah, to add on top of that, this off subject, but fighting on multiple fronts. Verse 5, you know how it said on the 6th day they was preparing, so we know it's going into the Sabbath. Right. Then verse 6, it says that even you gonna come to him, you're gonna see it. So even the Sabbath came in on that evening.
Right.
Then he said in the morning you're gonna see the things, right? Because you're supposed to lay it up for the Sabbath. Just another thing to add on that.
Hey, they ain't doing no cooking and none of that, man. Hey, it's bread. Hey, just like how the bread we eat when we be eating the sandwiches, man. Right. All right. But let's go ahead and read 7 again.
Verse 7 from the top. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord. For that He heareth your murmurs against the Lord. Against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur us against? So like that ye murmur against us. Verse 8. And Moses said, this shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full.
Bread to the what?
Bread to the full.
He said, hey, flesh to eat and bread to the full. So, hey, you ain't gonna be hungry, man, like I've been complaining about, but go eat.
For that the Lord heareth your murmurs, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurs are not against us, but against the Lord.
Hey, so Moses and Aaron, hey, they told him off back. They're like, hey, all your murmuring, complaining, it's not against us, man. You ain't doing this to us, man. You doing that to the Most High God. So, hey, y'all take it up with them. But then, hey, even when you read in the store, they scared that, hey, as soon as they hear the Most High God, they didn't even want to talk to him. They're like, hey, Moses, Aaron, y'all go up there. Y'all talk to him.
Like, talk to him unless we die.
Right.
Talk to him unless we die.
Like, no, speak your mind. You know, but hey, Most High God, hey, he got a way of doing things, man. He gave you space and opportunity to talk to him. But hey, they knew they weren't in the right mindset, because hey, just imagine if they did go up there. Most High God, hey, they would have died, man, because they weren't righteous enough.
Don't go to the Lord. What it be? You don't got what? Okay. You finished all that whole sentence, boy.
Hey, they like how like when they be in the temple and stuff, they be dragging that nigga by a rope down the mountain or something like that. Into that mud, hey, they won't budge, man. But go ahead, verse 8. Verse 9, like
the book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 9. And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto all the children of say unto the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before the Lord, for he had heard your murmurs.
So, hey, you know, Moses and Abraham, he told Israel, he was like, hey, come forward to, you know, present yourself to the Most High God, man, because he hear your murmuring. So, I mean, it ain't like you can hide that thing now. Like, but go ahead.
And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurs of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at evening you shall eat flesh, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God.
That I know what?
That I am the Lord your God.
The Most High God, he could have been like, man, forget them, man. They want to do all that murmuring, complaining, and tripping. I ain't finna feed them, man. But hey, the Most High God, he still, hey, he approving them. He was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and you know, give them flesh to eat and, you know, bread to the full, man. I'm gonna see what they gonna do. If they gonna, you know, give me the respect that I damn well deserve, or they just gonna keep on doing their own thing. Talking about, hey, we was better off in Egypt. But go ahead, read on.
Verse 13, and it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning, the dew lay round about the hope. And when the dew that laid, what shall I? And the dew, and when the dew that was laid, that laid was gone up. So like, and when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoar of frost, on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna.
It is what?
It is manna. For they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which the Lord had given you to eat.
So like how Christian counterparts be saying, they be like, won't he do it? Hey, he said it and he did it, man. So it's like, hey, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna take it? Y'all gonna eat? Because he gave you quails as well, man. He said he's gonna give you flesh to eat, bread to the food. He gave you both those things. Go ahead.
Verse 16. This is the thing which the Lord had commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating.
According to his what?
According to his eating.
Hey, according to that rate, man, that he told you in you know, early in the chapter. But go ahead.
An omer for every man, according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tent. And the children of Israel did so and gathered, some more, some less.
So hey, some of them they did what the Most High God told them to do, and then some of them they didn't do it, man. Some of them being greedy, some of them they were doing what the Most High God told them to do. And the one third doing what they're supposed to, 2/3 what? But go ahead.
And when they did meet it with an arm, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating.
So the whole reason I brought out that chapter is because the murmuring and complaining, because when you read on in the chapter, they did keep on complaining, man. Because in the very next chapter, they
kept on murmuring and complaining.
They kept on murmuring and complaining, and then tripping with Moses, talking about hey, we need some water now. And then Moses wound up striking a rock, and then he wasn't able to go into the promised land. But it started with Moses anyway. But the next precept we're gonna get is Isaiah 53 and verse 6. Because this is our example that we've been talking about throughout the whole class.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 6. And we like sheep have gone astray.
Yeah, what?
And all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. And the Lord had laid on him the iniquity of us all.
Of us what?
Of us all.
So to sum up that verse is basically saying that all Israel, we went astray, man. We were doing every type of perverse thing that was known to man. And in the midst of all that, Christ still took that burden on his people, and he went to the cross with it, man. So give y'all some more grace, man, some better grace, because we had grace to a certain extent, because they allowed sin and death. If you was committing adultery, you had 2 or 3 witnesses, you was out of there. If you was homosexual, you had 2 or 3 witnesses, you was out of there. So Christ did a good thing, man. But he did it with a cheerful countenance. Yeah, he got wroth at times, but at the same time, he was like, it's your will, like I was bringing out in his last class. If it's in your will, then let it be done. But let's go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 7. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth.
He what?
Yet he opened not his mouth.
So Christ was oppressed and he was afflicted. We seen this stuff, like we seen the movies and stuff, and that's just little inklings of things that he was going through, man. They were spitting on this man, they were whooping him with scourges. They were doing all type of things to this man, and yet he still ain't opened his mouth. He took that thing on the chin, like how we brought out the class previous to that. Well, go ahead.
He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter.
What?
As a lamb to the slaughter.
Because like the example we always bring out is like around Passover. Every time we get that lamb already know it's gonna go, man. He'll get the kicking a little bit and doing certain things, but as far as like just screaming on the top of his lungs, like once he get hung up on that tree and he ain't got nowhere to go, he like, well, this is it. That lamb, he be good though, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. So you be doing us justice, man. It ain't all in vain, man. But go ahead.
And as a sheep before her shears is dumb.
Is what?
Is dumb. So he opened not his mouth.
So it reiterated itself. Go ahead.
He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation?
Read on.
For he was cut out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people.
No, of everybody's people.
For my people.
The Most High God talking about his people. What tribe did Christ come from? From the tribe of Judah. Who is his nation of people? That's Israel, man. Plain and simple. But read on.
For the transgression of my people was he stricken.
Was he what?
Was he stricken.
So he did it for us, man. He said, he got his life took away from for us. But go ahead.
And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his debt.
In his what?
In his debt.
So hey, he made his grave for the wicked and for the rich, man. But go ahead.
Because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth.
Hey, because we know the precepts for that. 1 Peter 1:19, 1 Peter 2:21, man. There wasn't no gap found in the king's mouth, man. Hey, because like I even say, like he died for the wicked and for the rich, because he didn't do no sin. So hey, he took all that thing, man. That's something mighty, man. I mean, the brothers and sisters can really do that, like for us people, because we know that the dead of Christ shall rise first. Hey, and that's why, hey, every Sabbath you're gonna see us out there. Listen, the Most High God said, hey, now I want y'all to rest this Sabbath. Y'all go ahead and go to the house and kick it. But hey, any other time, hey, we're gonna be out there, man. And we ready for anything, because hey, we be seeing the people that be all up in the windows and all that. But hey, does it faze us? No. Hey, we done seen and heard brothers talking about, hey, they finna shoot us, they finna go back and get their gun. Do they come back? No. We'll see them the next week, and they'll be like, hey, you know what? Y'all was right and I was wrong. Because they humble themselves, man. But read on.
Verse 10. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him.
What?
It pleased the Lord to bruise him.
Because hey, even with that mindset, like the Most High God, it pleased the Most High God to bruise his son, man. So you think you ain't finna go through nothing? Hey, stop that murmuring and complaining, man. But go ahead.
When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin.
For what?
For sin. He shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days. And the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
Right, because even I say he shall prolong his days, he shall see his seed, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Hey, the Most High God, he giving them all of this stuff, man. You're like, okay, you laid your life down for my people. Hey, go ahead and you can have all this stuff that come with it, man. But go ahead.
He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many. For he shall bear their iniquity.
He shall what?
For he shall bear their iniquity.
Read on.
Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great.
With the who?
With the great.
Because that great, it can go into like Esau and them, because they, what's the word? Like, hey, talk about Great Britain, all these things. Hey, he gonna be up there, man. But go ahead.
And he shall divide the spoil with the strong.
Hey, even with these nations that think they strong, hey, he gonna divide these things, man. Hey, meaning, hey, he's taking it. Roughly paraphrase, but go ahead.
Because he had poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors.
Because don't get me wrong, like even on the other aspect, hey, even with the 144,000 and 1/3, we're gonna have our little our little matches and stuff going on, and then he gonna divide it with us and stuff, man. Like even on that aspect. But next precept, we're gonna get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 47. One classic, man.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness with gladness of heart.
He said, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart. Read on.
For the abundance of all things.
No, some things.
Of all things.
Read on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Which the who?
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Because hey, just like how I was bringing out in like with the middle part of the class, like hey, he took us out of Egypt. We was complaining in the wilderness. Now he put us back in Egypt, man. So hey, we serving our enemies, man. But go ahead.
In hunger, and in thirst.
So hey, he like, okay, this time, hey, you ain't gonna get this. Well, to a certain extent, you is, because the Most High God, he got everything under control. But like even like on the lower aspect of it, hey, in hunger, you're gonna have to go to these people, man. Hey, because at first you was getting it from the direct source, should I say. You getting it from the Most High God himself. But now you got to go to them people to get it. But go ahead.
In hunger, in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So hey, you want to die? Hey, you got to get the death certificate, man. Well, you're gonna die, you still got to get a death certificate. Hey, you want to have like a funeral and all that, you got to go to them, man. You know, a coffins cost like $10,000+, man. But go ahead.
And in one of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
I tell you what,
until he have destroyed thee.
Because hey, we know that Esau is the sport of the Most High God. Because hey, in the wilderness, they were getting destroyed by the destroyer himself. But now, hey, they getting destroyed by these weaker vessels that's weaker than us, man. But hey, you know, they got weapons of mass destruction and all type of things. That's the only reason they really can, you know, even mess with us. That, you know, always because the Most High God got his hand in it. Hey, the Most High God, the moment the Most High God take his hand up off them, like you know, concerning like with them oppressing us or whatnot, it'll be over, man.
Right.
Hey, that's why he also divided us, because he was like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna have to divide these niggas because they gather up. Esau and them, they ain't gonna stand a chance, man.
Right.
But hey, let's read on. Well, that it. Yeah, that was it on there. Let's go ahead and go to the next precept. Let's get to
that nakedness, man. You can't tell me that he didn't have us African, so-called African Americans, you so-called Judites, in nakedness out there in the field, man. You got to take that to initiative, because we was in the field during all seasons, man.
Right.
You know, and he said in one of all things, man, no matter what you got, you know, you want your gold, your jewelry, guess what? That's our stuff that he's really selling back to us.
All right.
But at the same time, we're gonna have to come to these people for these things, man. Right. So these people are not your friends, man. They are your enemies, man. But it does say until he have destroyed thee. And he ain't just got our people destroyed physically, he got our people destroyed mentally too. That's why Hosea 4:6 say, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Not only are we destroyed for a lack of knowledge, it's because we rejected knowledge. Right. That's why he have also rejected us. But that's all I want to say on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a quick precept real quick. Job 2:10. Because I was gonna pull Job that last time when even I was going into Christ, not complaining, not murmuring, even of all these things, he was afflicted, persecuted. We know Christ went through a lot of things. Guess what? Job went through a lot of things too, right? But I left it to the side. But then, you know, that it just came through again. It says, because I serve not the Lord, joyfulness and gladness of heart. Right. Job continually still did that, even whatever he went through, right? Because we know Job, if you read 1 on down, 2 on down, till you get to 10, you see his family died. He got boils, bruised. He got all these things on him, right? The Lord let him have it. Let Satan have him. He said, just don't kill him. Guess what? The Lord sent all these things on Job, and Job didn't do nothing, right? Just read verse 10, 2 and 10.
You sure you don't want to get 9?
Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 9.
Yeah.
Then said his wife unto him, does thou still retain thy integrity? Curse God and die.
So guess what? The wife seen all the things that didn't happen to him, right? He said, do you still retain your integrity? Guess what you do? You stay still that utmost respect that you have for the Lord. Man, just curse God and die, right? Read.
But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaking.
Guess what? He just like, you speaking as a foolish woman speaking. Think about this, man. Joe probably could have said some off the wall stuff to his wife, because I know me, if I would have heard that from my wife, guess what? It'd have been a different story. But look how close Job was in the spirit with that thing. He called her foolish, because guess what? That's somebody who don't keep the commandments. You sound just like one of these other women, right? Read.
What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? Guess
what? That's on him taking everything with joyfulness and gladness of heart. Guess what? Everything Job got, he knew he got it from the Lord. Everything he got taken away, he knew it was taken from the Lord. He said, I got to accept the good and the bad, because I got to accept. Guess what? He said, I got to have joyfulness and gladness in my heart with the Lord always, right? Read.
In all this, did not Job sin with his lips?
See, guess what? Look, guess what? Christ didn't open his mouth and complain and murmur. Guess what? Job didn't even sin with his lips, man. There's many accounts of the prophets not complaining and just doing it.
Right.
He went through it. Job went through it.
All right.
He lost everything. Guess what? I brought it up to somebody the other day. I was talking about Job. I said, hey, Job had a wicked ass woman. I said, you didn't even hear about his wife no more after this. You didn't hear how if she died, how she died. Man, the Lord probably messed her off, boy. after she said that, you didn't hear about her no more through the book of Job. You didn't hear about no more in the Bible.
All right.
But that's what I'm saying. With that humbleness and meekness that brothers and sisters gotta have, like, hey, but it's always the flip side to where if you don't, you lose that patience, like I was saying. You use this example and you don't use it correctly. Guess what? You curse God and die in your heart all the time when you think about stuff like that. And guess what? The Lord blow that candle out, boy. Go ahead.
Next precept we're gonna get is Sirach 11:25. This is another one of my favorite precepts because it's a true statement. Like it's like how we always bring out, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, come on, man. Y'all gonna pick a side, man. But let's go ahead and bring it out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction.
Of what?
Shalom. There is a forgetfulness of affliction.
So hey, when you out here prospering, when you got everything that you your heart desires or whatnot, you forget when you was down on your tail, man. You forget when you didn't have nothing. Hey, but read on.
And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance.
There's what?
There is no more remembrance of prosperity.
Of what?
Of prosperity.
Because he even flipped it. Hey, when you going through all type of hardships and tribulations, hey, you forget the times that the Most High God had you, man. And you was over here prospering, man. Even like on the spiritual aspect, like it said in the day of prosperity, like label the prosperity as its truth. You forget, hey, back when, hey, you was just like them brothers and sisters that's in this world right now, man. You forget about those things. Yeah, you're supposed to remember to a certain extent. You ain't supposed to hold on to it and like lean on to those things and be like, hey man, when I was in the world, bragging about it, should I say? But hey, you gotta have that patience with those brothers and sisters because you was just like that. But
right.
then it said, in the day of thy affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So like, say if it's a brother or sister that was in this truth, and then they hop out this truth, man. Hey, they forget when they was prosperous, man. Because hey, best example, man. Hey, you forget when you was in this truth, man.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, hey, you just be like, well, forget it.
Let's curse God and die.
Hey, because the Most High guy, he still can, like, even with that prosperity, that truth, hey, you can always come back to it, man. But hey, you got to make that decision, man. Hey, you fall out, hey, you can still, because we know what the precepts say is like, hey, better for them to not know the truth than to know it, and like, to go back into the world. But hey, it's some brothers that don't feel at this truth, and like they got back on the high horse, or like how I say, just man fallen 7 times. They was in the truth, then they kind of lingered out, but then they came back into it. I know brothers personally that did that, man.
Right.
Hey, that's a living testimony, man.
And shoot, that's I can't even think about nothing else but Hosea 4:6 again. It's literally telling you that we destroy for a lack of knowledge because there's no more remembrance of our prosperity, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's literally because we have rejected knowledge.
Right.
We rejected the laws of this truth to walk in the ways and the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So guess what? Why you think it says, it also say in the book of Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6 that he will forget thy children. Right. So that's why it's why it's no more remembrance of prosperity. Why is everybody getting all these good things and I'm on about? Because we ain't keeping the laws, man. Got to keep back to keeping them commandments, man.
The last precept, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. I wasn't gonna pull this, but then I was like, let me go ahead and add it because like it's a good precept to end, man. Before the law. Because this is the whole conclusion of it, man. I'm like, hey, stop complaining and just do it.
13. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Hey, the end all be all, man. Ain't no end and then sequence and all that. Nah, man. End all be all, man. It's the one and only movie. But go ahead.
Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God. And keep his commandments.
And do what?
And keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of men.
Hey, stop complaining. Stop the murmuring. Just do it. hey, keep these commandments, for this is our whole duty, man. It don't get no simpler than that, man. It don't get no easier than that. But read on.
For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So, hey, whether you was doing good or whether you was doing evil, man, hey, whatever you're doing, the Most High God, hey, He gonna reward you or He gonna give you that judgment.
That's right.
Hey, with that I say shalom. You know, all praise for the brothers and sisters that tuned in. You know, I hope the class was edifying. You know, I got new precepts. If y'all ain't have them, I hope this like uplift y'all spirit. Like if it cut y'all, all praises as well. I know we talk about the GoFundMe's and the Cash Apps and all that because your alms is being greatly used, for the building of the kingdom and not for like carnal things as far as like private jets and Cadillacs and all that stuff, man. But at the end of every class, we always bring out a law because Most High God, He called us the lawgiver. So hey, let's continue to keep on doing that thing.
That's right.
And bringing it out as well. Today's law, or tonight's law, should I say, is Deuteronomy 6 and 17.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 17.
Jump at 16.
Verse 16. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God, as ye tempted him in Massah.
Hey, sound familiar, right? Hey, they was over there tempting the Most High God. Hey, the Most High God, He had His son destroy him, man. But go ahead.
Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God in His testimonies, in His statutes, which He had commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right.
Which is what?
Which is right.
Hey, do the right thing, man, without the murmuring and complaining. But go ahead.
And good in the sight of the Lord, that it might be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Lord swore unto your father.
But there, we do good unto the Most. If we do good to the Most High God, hey, all the promises that He gave us. Hey, whether if you keeping the commandments or not, hey, for those that are keeping the commandments, hey, He gonna get that to them, man. So hey, get up on your high horse and start keeping these commandments, man. Right? That's the whole duty of man. But hey, with that, say shalom.
Shalom.